Rishi Sunak has scripted history and is all set to take over as the UK Prime Minister. This after his contender Penny Mordaunt withdrew from the race as she was not able to muster enough numbers to contest for the Conservative Party leader's post. So Sunak, on the other hand, received a wave of support from the Tory MPs, with over 160 of them declaring absolute support for Rishi Sunak. So he will now be the first leader of colour and the first Hindu to take up the top job in the United Kingdom. At 42, he is also the youngest Prime Minister in more than 200 years. So this is the big achievement and the big Deepavali celebrations for Rishi Sunak. In fact, the party was also divided over who their leader would be. And as Rishi Sunak entered the headquarters of the Conservative Party, he was received with the support of all the MPs. In terms of numbers, he had the support of over 160 MPs, whereas his level could not muster the requisite 100 MPs support. And that's the reason why he is now all set to become the first Indian origin Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. So Rishi Sunak will be taking over as the UK Prime Minister, but he's taking over at a very, very important and a very challenging time as well. So let's take you through what the challenges are going to be for Rishi Sunak. Remember, he's taking over at a time when there is high inflation, the economy is an absolute crisis. So there are several challenges. Even though there is a great celebration over him taking over, for him there are a lot of challenges. Let's take a look at what the challenges are. First is, of course, the hiked energy prices. Remember, inflation has exceeded over 10% in United Kingdom. It's the highest in any G7 country. So that's going to be one of the biggest challenges. And cost of living has also shot up. So for a lot of people in the United Kingdom, there is a lot of anger on the policies that have been introduced by the UK government. So fixing the stalled economy is going to be one of the biggest challenges, because he is taking over at a time when the economy is in shambles. Like we mentioned, the crisis has only deepened, and there are concerns over labour shortage as well. There are protests, strikes that have been called. There is a massive labour shortage. So that's going to be one of the biggest challenges for Rishi Sunak. And of course, ensuring political stability even in the run-up to him becoming the UK Prime Minister. You saw the kind of divide within the own party. Liz Truss also had a very, very short stint, just 6 weeks to be precise. And now as Rishi Sunak takes over, he needs to ensure that there is political stability, because that's also going to have an impact on the market. So these are some of the challenges that he has as, we speak about him taking over. But remember, the exit of Liz Truss marking the shortest term of a UK Prime Minister ever. Now there is going to be a change of guard in less than 2 months. The Indian origin politician Rishi Sunak is the new UK Prime Minister as the investment banker turned politician enters 10 Downing Street. Let's take a look and show you his journey so far.
Mounting economic crisis. Exit of Liz Truss marking the shortest term of a UK Prime Minister ever. And now change of guard in less than 2 months. The Indian origin politician Rishi Sunak is a new UK Prime Minister. As the investment banker turned politician enters 10 Downing Streets, a look at his journey so far. Relatively new to British politics, Sunak rose through the ranks as Conservative Party leader rapidly, first entering UK Parliament in 2015 when he was elected as MP from Richmond in Yorkshire. He was re-elected as MP in 2017 and 2019. Between 2018 and 19, he served as Parliamentary Under-Secretary of State for Local Government. Soon he was promoted to Finance Minister just before the pandemic hit. His economic support schemes during the lockdown won him huge public support. After an incredible rise in UK politics, Sunak's popularity, however, took a beating following a series of unpopular policies. His involvement in the Partygate scandal and news about his wife avoiding millions in tax by claiming non-domicile status. Sunak was also in part responsible for Boris Johnson's ouster as PM, as he kick-started the spate of government resignations and went on to join the race to replace him, but lost to Liz Truss in a closely contested fight. But here he is again, scripting history. Born to parents of Indian origin, Sunak is UK's first British Asian Prime Minister At 42, he is also the youngest in more than 200 years to occupy the post. But task for Sunak is cut out, with a slew of challenges waiting for him. First, of course, the economic challenges. The rising energy prices have hit the households hard. The cost of living has also shot up, with retail inflation in double digits. Then there's a problem of stalled economic growth amid concerns over labour shortages. And then, ensuring political stability is another key challenge. Will Sunak have answers to these challenges? This is a question on every UK citizen's mind. Bureau Report, Times Now.
Well, as Rishi Sunak prepares to take over as the UK Prime Minister, his ascent has also sparked politics back home in India. The Congress party cited the example of UK politics and asked if minorities can get the highest office here in India as well. Two senior Congress leaders, Shashi Tharoor and P. Chidambaram, took potshots at the BJP government at the centre soon after it became clear that Rishi Sunak is all set to be the next Prime Minister. The Congress MP Shashi Tharoor took to Twitter saying Brits have done something very rare and asked if the same can happen here in India. Another party leader, Chidambaram, cited the example of how Kamala Harris and Rishi Sunak, the two non-majority citizens, are occupying the top posts in the United States and United Kingdom respectively, saying it's a lesson for India and parties that practice majoritarian politics. So this is the reaction that came in from the Congress party, after which, of course, a political war has now begun. In some breaking news coming in, the BJP has taken on Shashi Tharoor as well as Chidambaram. The BJP saying Congress party seems to have forgotten Manmohan Singh completely after the tweet that came in from Chidambaram as well as Shashi Tharoor. A reaction coming in from Shehzad Poonawalla saying that, yes, Dr. Tharoor and P. Chidambaram never really considered Dr. Manmohan Singh as the Prime Minister for obvious reasons. Also, Zakir Hussain, Fakhruddin Ahmed, Yani Zail Singh, Abdul Kalam became presidents. Shinjoy joining us live with the details on that. Shinjoy, politics breaking out over majoritarian politics, as the Congress party called it. But the BJP has responded not with words, but with examples and facts on how the charge of the Congress party may be absolutely wrong.
Well, Manmohan Singh was Prime Minister for 10 years. The Congress should remember the fact that it was Manmohan Singh who was responsible for the economic growth from 1991. But it has to be said that Rishi Sunak is not Prime Minister of Britain because he's a part of the minority. He's Prime Minister of Britain because he's the right person at the right time. He is capable. He has proved his worth. He has fought his way up right to the top of the British establishment. He has been an MP. He has been Chancellor of the Exchequer and a successful Chancellor of the Exchequer, and he has been a person who has always shown that he was capable of being Prime Minister of Britain. He was at 11 Downing Street, now he moves to 10 Downing Street. It's not because he's from a minority or anything else. He's a Prime Minister of Britain today because he is good. That's the bottom line. Because he is as capable as he is, he's well educated. He has had his ups and downs in politics. He has been a good Chancellor of the Exchequer. He has done everything very well. So at this point, the Conservative party which faces...
That's right. So there were a lot of challenges for him, and of course the politics of it in India aside. It's going to be interesting to see the first Indian origin Prime Minister in the United Kingdom. Shinjoy, thank you for joining us. Let's also introduce our guest, Dr. Yukteswar Kumar, ex-Deputy Mayor of Bath, Gayatri Isar Kumar, former High Commissioner for India in the United Kingdom. Dr. Yukteswar, you know, history has been scripted. Rishi Sunak is going to take over 10 Downing Street, but he takes over at a very, very challenging time. What is the sense like, if you can get us in the UK, the kind of excitement and also the hopes that are really being pinned on Rishi Sunak?
Thank you. Rishi Sunak, as just the speaker said, he is a man of charisma, and his ascent from 2015, he was MP, first elected, to now. And why? Because he himself says that his faith gives him a strength. It gives him purpose. And that's what Britain today needs. Just a few weeks ago, Lord Popert wrote, and I say that Britain today needs Asian values, Asian family values, and Rishi Sunak has both the charisma, the capability, and he's undoubtedly the best person today at the moment to lead Britain. He said yesterday that either the party unites or it dies. And I can see, because I am member of various groups, including various councillor groups of Indian heritage, and there we are chatting that he is the person around him the whole country can unite. He has the experience. He was, like in India, the finance minister of the country. He was chancellor of the exchequer. He knows how to go through and navigate through these problems. So it is a historical moment, and I am 100% sure that Rishi Sunak is the right person, and I personally have been vouching for his ascent so that he could lead. And today, when we just are celebrating Diwali, and he is a person who himself swears on Gita, and we know Gita is a book which tells you, which can guide you through various problems in personal and professional life, and Rishi works through that. So despite all these kind of recent problems, the energy crisis, inflation, high mortgage rate, and everything, he knows how to solve the problem, and we are sure that he would lead us to a better economy, to a better country. It is a momentous day in British history, because after 5 hours, basically, he will become the first ever youngest Prime Minister of the country. That's right.
You know, like you mentioned, there were some criticisms about his financial policies. His political rise has also been peppered with a lot of controversies. But unfortunately, as he was, headed towards the top job, there was a lot of criticism, not for the financial policies, but for other issues. One, a lot of people seem to be uncomfortable with the fact that he was non-white. He wears his Hinduism on his sleeve. That was something. So his culture, where his origins are, that came in as one of the reasons why the people, especially in his own party, could not, accept him. That's what it seemed like. Ms. Gayatri Sarkumar, what do you look at, how do you look at this? The fact that he has a lot of challenges, yes, but his rise to the top job has been peppered with a lot of controversies, with a lot of challenges in itself.
Thank you. Indeed, Mr. Sunak's journey is a story of hard work and single-minded commitment. And he is expected to assume charge today after he is invited by the King to assume the office of Prime Minister. This would no doubt be a watershed moment for the Indian diaspora worldwide, especially the British Indian community in the UK. But what does it mean for India? Let's put aside the general euphoria. We must see it very soberly. Yes, his selection as leader of the Conservative Party is what has happened as a result of an internal process of a fellow democracy. So we should wait to see at 11:35 British time today, when after he's assumed office, when he will speak to the people of the UK today. And then it's important for us to see the cabinet that he forms and also the policy that he announces. I think that is most relevant. And as far as India is concerned, he was at the helm of the finance ministry, which is called the Treasury in the UK. As Chancellor of the Exchequer, he led the 11th India-UK Economic and Finance Dialogue, along with our Finance Minister, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman, and they had issued an excellent joint statement about the, how we are going to go forward in economic and financial cooperation. This was in 2021. And I also would like to mention the roadmap to 2030, which is the only such document that the UK has signed for 10 years with any country in the world. So I would love to hear, as a former High Commissioner, I would like to hear the word continuity and implementation of such plans and agreements where there is a reflection of a commitment to joint objectives of our two governments.
Absolutely. And, he has also spoken about how he wants to change the dynamic between India and the United Kingdom. He has said that he wants to make it more of a two-way exchange for, easy access to the UK, especially for the students who are aspiring to study there. So what kind of a change are you seeing in the relations of India and United Kingdom after Rishi Sunak takes over?
I think we should wait and see his policy, and especially the selection of his cabinet colleagues, as I mentioned. He is expected to have a very, very wide range of people in his cabinet who reflect the entire British community. And I'm sure that given the sensitivity of this subject and the importance of this issue for India-UK relations, I'm sure he will focus on it in a very practical and a pragmatic way, and keeping in mind what India expects.
Okay, all right. Thanking our esteemed guests for joining us this morning on our show. And of course, today is going to be a very, very historic day as Rishi Sunak officially takes over as the UK Prime Minister. On that note, we're slipping into a short break here. Be right back. Do stay with us.